Welcome to the Redvee TV Show, supported by Chapel House Cars for the 2025 season. As we look ahead to this Friday's clash against the Leeds Rhinos at the Totally Wicked Stadium. Kevin, it feels like we've been away from home for a long, long time.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, feels like we've not been to the TW for a while, but not away from doing this. Because even though we had the week off due to the Challenge Cup, it feels like it was only yesterday I was talking to you about Salford.
It does. And yesterday, Kevin, all our troubles seemed so far away,
It,
but now it looks like they're here to stay because we're caving into the injuries.
yes. No, that I'm not having it as an excuse.
No, no. Before we go any further, we get moaned at by people when we don't moan and we're not hammering the club. And we get a load of grief with people saying, "Are you in the club's pockets?" And then when we do hammer the club, we get accused of being a moanathon across social media by a bunch of people who aren't cooler than Roy Cropper.
Can't win.
You
Can't win.
genuinely can't win. I genuinely think the people who moan about us having an opinion just want us to have theirs.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think we've said that to people on social media. What opinion would you like me to have at this point? It's fine. I'll keep on giving my opinion. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's just my opinion. If people want to chat about it, great. We usually see in the comments, and we're seeing a lot more in the comments on YouTube, people kind of getting involved in the conversation on it, which is great. But if people don't agree with it, it's not going to ruin my life. I just get on with my day.
We don't agree with each other half the time.
No. No. The number of arguments that we'll have over something. The away days, to be fair, usually are the ones where we've got that little bit longer to just dissect it. And we're just going, why are you bothered about that? Why are you? Because this is wrong, that's wrong, and we should be doing this, and we should be doing that. And it'll bounce back into it's quite fun.
It is 3 hours moaning with me in a car, Kevin. What more could you want?
Well, you know what I could want? I could want them closing the M62 over the weekend that we're going to Hull away.
See, they just want to give you an extra half-hour moan-a-thon with me in the car.
Yeah, exactly.
I am absolutely convinced that National Highways hate Saints. They must
Yeah,
pick it in the calendar. They've got to pick it in the calendar. Anyway, should we get on with it, Kev?
yeah, yes. Let's stop the moan fest.
Well, that's what you
Well,
think.
I'm about to start it again. Yes.
That's what you think, Kevin. So we'll start with the news that this season's third kit is officially a bestseller. The third kit is officially the club's best-selling third shirt design, surpassing sales of all previous designs dating right back to the 2011 season. I would say that is fantastic news, Kevin.
But
But I'm not cynical, and if I was, which I'm not, and I was a moaner, which I'm not, I would probably suggest that's because they've made more than 1,000 this time and tried selling it for longer than 5 days before Magic and actually called it a third kit rather than a Magic shirt and actually put it on sale sooner. But I'm not a cynic, so I won't be saying that.
yeah, there's. I think we've mentioned this so many times how we think that there's a potential to have this out earlier, even earlier than we did this year. Have it used a couple more times. Maybe if you can get away with using it 3 or 4 times in a season, including Magic, making sure that they're available in the right numbers. As I say, the actual design, because it's subliminated design in that shirt, is wonderful with the crown with the town crest on it. Last year, when we had the blue one and we had all the community club crests in it, that was another great one. Why are we gatekeeping these to third shirts that we're making 1,000, 1,500 of? We shouldn't be.
That
Another argument down
that
the line, though.
that design could have been the design on the away shirt as well as the third shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah.
And I just hope that the club have learned now that they can have that third shirt out in February. And you'll probably
Yeah.
break the record again next year, I'd suggest as well.
Yeah. Hopefully so. I think that when we look at the club, and I know people say we're skint and we can't spend salary cap, even though we do spend salary cap. But when you've got a loss making club, which is an actual fact, and people want to get behind the team, one way that they can do that is by buying merch. So you bring out nice merch, you bring out merch that people want. People go into the shop and buy it. People will actually go and get it. So obviously this is sold in good numbers, and people have taken to it. People have taken it, like gone into the, yeah, I really like the design of it. I like the colours of it. Great for me. I'm going to get that. Wonderful. Brilliant. That's a tick. That's a positive. But let's not. I'm always reluctant to start blowing Saints trumpet if they say it's been a bestseller. How many have you sold? Not telling you. Well, what's it?
1,050 because we've made 50 more this time round.
Exactly. This is it. It's a kind of it's a positive and it's a good news story. But there is, and I feel like obviously the club is a little bit on a downer on a couple of facets. If you look across social media and fans having a go at this, that, and the other with it, um, you just think like there's always that little bit of, but have we still sold enough? You can have a bestseller, you can have a kit that sells out. Could you have sold another 200? Could you have sold another 500? Or were you at your limit?
Yeah. And I think this is the thing,
Obviously,
Kev. If we were cynical and we were moaners and did nothing else, I'd say, do you know what? You're moaning for moaning's sake. But we are practically offering a solution as well. It's constructive criticism, it's the critical friend. If I want to be a really critical friend, I'm going to highlight this. Coming soon.
yeah, should be out.
It's the 18th of June and it's 31 degrees this weekend.
Yeah, should be out.
Why? And you're competing against football clubs, local football clubs, sports clubs, where it's currently their off season and they've got their summer ranges out before they launch their new kits.
Yeah,
Our ranges should be out end of May to compete
yeah,
against that. Because by the
yeah,
time we get it out, if we get that out in say 2 weeks, say that's coming soon, say that's next week or 2 weeks time, Liverpool's new kits will be out, Everton's new kits will be out, Man United's new kits will be out. You're in a competitive market. Do we not look at what we're competing against? Why is that range not already out?
yeah. That's fair. I think that's a fair point and a fair question to ask. You're well within your rights to say why is it coming soon? Why is it not out? Why is it'll be in the shop before the Leeds game? Rather than that, it coming soon. It'll be in the shop on the 20th of June. Get to the club shop early. We're expecting queues. We'll have the summer range in, but obviously not.
Now, for me, you would definitely have that summer range in the shop for the 20th of June when you've got 10,000 Saints fans coming to the stadium. You could have it for sale on, you could have club staff selling it for sale on the concourses. As it is, it's now at the very least or very earliest going to be the 29th of June before people get down to the stadium again. And if they don't have it on for sale then, you're looking at middle of July.
Yeah,
You've only got, say, 14 home games a year where you've got a captive audience to try and sell to.
yeah. And with Leeds being such a one of those traditional big games, you should be aiming for that one to have stuff in.
Yeah.
This should all in the diary, having a look and go. We need to get that a week earlier because it's Leeds, or we need. And I know we can't really, with Salford going the way that they have. That may have well put a spanner in the works, but you should still be looking at early June. Who will we be playing round early June at home? Right.
Instead,
So,
we could have it on, we could have it there for our lowest attendance of the year potentially.
yeah, yeah.
But we're not cynical, so we're not moaning.
Okay.
Anyway, let's have some better positive stories. Let me get the annotation off. I'm gonna have to do that. Oh, come on. There we go. St. Helens Mobile Food Pantry will be collecting before the game, as always, this Friday evening. So get down with your tins of food, tin vegetables, soups, anything else you can read on that little tiny list on that picture. Um, yeah, they do a fine job. Um, so don't forget about them. Get your support and fill a carrier bag of gear and bring it with you if you possibly can.
Yeah, I think I don't think they've been at games. I'm just going to read the post. The back, they'll be there from six usual spots, which is just near the Kieran Cunningham statue, collecting food donations. It's food bank has missed match day collections as stocks are running low. So if you're heading to the Totally Wicked this Friday, please bring a tin or two. If you can't, obviously you can drop it off at Tesco, Asda, Denton's Green, Post Office, Hope Centre, Sainsbury's in Eccleston, Newton Family and Community Centre, and any St Helens Library. Um, so get down there if you can and drop off. And it's obviously all your non-perishable items, stuff that's got a decent date on it, not like pints of milk in this weather.
No,
It'd be
it's
like
UHT milk
you
or
yeah,
powdered. It's fruit juices in a long life carton. It's cereals, it's pasta sauces, it's tinned potatoes, tinned tomatoes, tinned vegetables, tinned soup, tinned rice pudding, coffee, tea, tinned fruit. That's as much as I can read.
jam. Did you say jam?
Yam, biscuits. Just don't let me
Right.
see the biscuits
And
as you walk past me because I'll probably nab a couple.
yep. And as well as that, you may well see Jim Housley there. Now, Jim recently has walked the Camino over in Spain. I'm just getting again. I'm literally scrolling through to get his post up. He has raised so far over £7,000 for three amazing charities. So I'm reading this off the Sam's Diamonds Cancer Support Charity post. He's also raised money for the Northwest Miners Heritage Association and the Steve Prescott Foundation. Now, it has taken him one hell of a schlep to do this. 483 miles, and he's done it in 5 weeks. It's
On
that is
foot and not
so
on foot and not in the van either.
yeah, not well. If the food pantry van's been there, I'm going to ask Jim on Friday, and he took the keys with him, and that's why they've not been turning up.
There he is.
Um, yeah, and and all joking aside, listen, that is an absolutely unbelievable achievement, Jim. Good on you for doing so, and good on you for raising all that money.
Right, let's get back onto the Moan Fest. Not a Moan Fest.
Why are you
The
pointing at the van?
annotation. The 21-man squad.
Right. So two changes. Joe Batchelor and George Whitby drop out, with Will Roberts and Jake Davis replaced.
I am going to stick my neck on the line, and despite Wello talking this afternoon about Ciro going until game time, I just don't see how he's overcoming back spasms in 5 days to be sufficiently fit to play the Leeds Rhinos. In that case, he's out, Batch is out, George Whitby is out. Incoming in their place will be Jake Wingfield and Iggy Parsi, and Jake Burns on the bench. Missing out will be John Bennison, Jake Davis,
Curtis
Will
Sheridan
Roberts,
and Cyril.
and Ciro. Moses
Yep,
will start at 7. Jake
yep,
Burns will be the interchange option for playing 9.
yep.
There's your team.
Who plays second row? Right, the two options I've got there. Obviously,
I
Matt Whitley. Matt Whitley will take one.
I think he will play. Did he play Matty Lees there against Huddersfield?
Against Huddersfield, yeah.
So Matty Lees plays there, and then your four props are George, Noah, Iggy, and Alex.
Yeah. I think I think you're right there. I can almost see if Jake Wingfield had played against Salford and come through it unscathed, I think Jake Wingfield might have been a shoe-in for that second role because he'd have had a bit of match sharpness about him, match fitness. As it is, I think Wingy will be on the bench alongside Iggy and Noah. And it does allow you that possibility of giving Basilis a bit of a break, but bringing him back on in the front row. And him still doing a props work, but bringing him on in the front row rather than a second row. It does give you that option. It also leaves you one of your props out there who can do massive minutes. I think George Delaney will start in Massili's place, but pretty much the same as you. That back line ain't changing, as Wello said on the presser. They do have the option of dropping Harry Robertson in there, but he liked the combination that him and Kyle Felt were getting at the start of the season. And if you're bringing, I think I said this before the Salford game, if you're bringing an NRL player in who will probably be on decent coin to come over and play in his preferred position, which is opens up another question about recruitment. But to play in his preferred position, we've got to start seeing it. We've got to.
Yeah,
This is the time.
listen, he went all right there, albeit against Salford at the weekend. Obviously, the bench spot is probably between Jake Burns and John Bennison, isn't it? The
Mm,
reason you go for Jake Burns is because Moses is playing seven, so you want that interchange hooker.
yeah,
And what does John Bennison offer you on the bench? Because if you need to cover a wing spot, if Kyle Felt or Owen Dagnall go off injured, you can move Dion Cross there and put Whitley into centre.
yeah. And then
If
you
a
just
centre,
end up
if a
with
centre goes off, you put
yeah,
Matt Whitley there.
yeah.
So therefore, John Bennison being on the bench as an emergency is just a non-needed option.
I almost think that Benno might well be 18th, but I almost think that Jake Davis would be a better choice as your 18th if you did end up with head knocks because it gives you another forward. Yet he's not made an appearance, but I just think you're getting a second rower in there, which is a position that we're very, very short of. So you have the forward because if you do end up losing a back, yeah, we can start mixing it about a little bit, but then you probably, as you say, moving Matt Whitley out one. So having Jake Davis there, and I think if for some reason Jake Burns isn't in the options when it comes to match day for some reason, whether it's illness, injury, or whatever befalls him in the next couple of days, and we went with John Bennison, I think that'd be a massive mistake. I would again be going with Jake Davis. I'd be hoping he gets longer than 7 or 8 minutes because it's going to be a warm evening and you've got to keep them bodies fresher. Leeds are a physical team and will just absolutely, I think, regardless at the minute, the way that I feel about performances will just blow us away anyway. But you've got to try and stay in it. You've got to try and at least arm wrestle with it.
Now, you could say hindsight is a wonderful thing, but we've called this all along. Why is Wello not used potentially both Noah Stevens and Jake Wingfield against Salford? Not only does it potentially protect one of your key players for this Leeds game that was coming up this week, and it's one less player that could potentially get injured. But equally, if someone does get injured, you're not now suddenly having to drop Jake Wingfield into a big game
Yeah,
when he could have quite easily given minutes on Sunday in a game that you could have put us into the 17 and still won.
I'm not sure with me on Sunday. I spent most of the day ill in bed. It wasn't the greatest Father's Day for me.
Well,
But
you could have just played the Noah role and just come on for about 8 minutes now and again.
no, because I can't carry like Noah does. But yeah, the point is right that really that game would have been perfect for getting minutes into Jake Wingfield. And why it hasn't happened? It's probably because Batch coming back, and we wanted Batch for this week. That's probably the one. But arguably, then could you have dropped Matt Whitley out? Could you have just said to Curtis Siren, "Don't need you this week, pal"?
You could have rested 3 or 4 bodies and still won that game.
Yeah,
Just even with our injuries. So for me, wrong call, and it's now coming back to bite us.
yeah. I think that's just a circumstantial thing. I'm not necessarily gonna. It's not because we've picked them that they've got injured. I
No,
mean,
but
I know.
no, but it was a potential to give Jake Wingfield game time in a game that
Oh
was
yeah,
we were going to win anyway.
exactly right, exactly. And we
Uh,
should have given Jake.
You could have also argued Jake Burns could have been on the bench, but then
Yeah, yeah. I don't disagree that we could have won that with 4 or 5 missing. Just rested. Absolutely. Suppose the thing is, before it, we were saying, should we like it's the manner of the win that we need to do, that we need to get right. And if we'd have gone there with 3 or 4 missing and won 24 points to 6, I guarantee that our mentions, Facebook pages would just be like, what are we doing? These are rubbish, etc., etc.
yeah. Okay, Leeds squad, Kev.
Yeah, Leeds squad, Alfie Edgell drops out. Ethan Clark-Wood comes in. Andy Ackers again named after coming through. The game against Warrington reserves, so I would imagine that he is in line for a recall to the 17th.
I'm looking at that squad, Kevin. Them squad numbers, and they're full of injuries.
Is it Sevo, the winger that they've not had all season? I'm not having that injuries are a reason for us not performing. I think
No,
you should still be. I
wait,
think you should still be able to get a tune out of the team that are on the park, regardless if Leeds rock up with a full team or don't.
Kev, we're winning on Friday.
Well, to keep your 11 out of 12, was it
Yeah,
going? We're going to have to. I don't see it. I don't see it. You need to, if for someone to change my mind on this, they need to provide me with some proof that in the past couple of games against teams that aren't cannon fodder at the bottom of the league,
past
that we
couple
have
of games,
shown.
past couple of years.
Well, yeah, but like we played Salford, we played Huddersfield, we played Catalan, all in terrible form, all without players. You've got to tell me that show me what exactly am I looking at that would manifest itself into a performance against a good team. Yeah, we've done some nice things in them games. We've done some good things which should be lauded, but we've never done enough for me to think if we were playing a Leeds or a Hull KR, we'd be staying in this game.
Can we not just tell the players that Leeds are still crap?
No, because then we might go out half-assed.
No, when we play a crap team, we do all right. When we
All
play
right,
anybody
fair.
half decent, we get walloped. By the way, that Leeds kit's quite nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Much nicer than any of our efforts this year. Um, so are we winning, Kev? If we've got any chance of finishing third, we have to at least split these 2 games with Leeds.
Yeah, we out finishing third. We're out finishing third. We're out winning on Friday night.
What scores are going to be?
I genuinely hope they don't get a full head of steam up because I worry they'll beat us by 3 or 4 scores easy.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not having it. Moses in by is going to lead us round that field like a
Oh,
like
as ever, when I say this, I hope I'm wrong. But show me any evidence to say that we are good enough to beat this Leeds team. At the moment, as we play now, just give me anything to try and hang my hat on because there's nothing. I don't see anything that gives me a positive outlook onto this game.
Well, if you want a positive outlook on this game, the bookies are only giving us a +2 start.
Oh, are they?
And they're not often wrong. This is still Leeds. We should have
Yeah,
beat them at Magic, but we didn't.
yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Go on then, Kev. Give us a
What,
score prediction. Saints by how many? Minus how many?
I've just said 3 or 4 scores.
I'm going Saints by 10. Got to keep that 11 out of 12 alive.
Yeah, my 7 out of 8's more likely.
Although that prediction was made before we got these injuries.
Can't you not using it? I'm not having it as an excuse.
Oh, we're just not good enough. But there we go. Anyway, see you on Friday. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll catch you for the Redvee Monophone after the game. Catch you soon.